4th time trying to make this video, so let's see if I can get this. So if y'all hear noise in the background, it is, I'm in my backyard. There's cars and stuff passing by. But anyway, I had this dream about 2 weeks ago, and I felt like this is important to tell y'all because it has not left me yet. So in this dream, it was dark. It seemed like I don't know if y'all remember when you were in school, the cafeteria. When y'all went to lunch, the cafeteria, it seemed bigger than that, like an elementary or a middle school cafeteria. It seemed really big, like a really, really big cafeteria. And in this cafeteria, the lights were not working. There was no lights whatsoever. There was barely enough light for me to see around. And I don't know if it was coming from the building or if it was just in my dream to where so I could see what was going on in my dream. But anyway, so in this building, there were so many people in there. And as I said, there was no lights. So many people in there, and there were so many people sitting at these tables. And then there was also a very, very long line waiting for something. At this time, I did not know what they were waiting for. And so I was sitting at this table with a group of people, but in my dream, I knew that we had to stay in groups, that we were grouped in these tables, and we had to stay like that. When we got up to get in line, we had to wait to be called to get in line, and we had to stay in these groups. I knew that in my dream. So anyway, I was sitting there with people, and this guy accidentally drops his wallet. And for some reason, it's weird, in my dream, I had my phone, I turned the flashlight on, and I looked underneath the table to see if I could see his wallet, to help him get his wallet, but the wallet was no longer there anymore. It was just gone. And I was like, okay. And it went from that to, as I'm getting up, I see my son's father. My oldest son's father, he was there. Not my husband, but my oldest son's father. Anyway, he was there, and he was sitting with his group. In his group, there were people that I knew. I believe there were some of my family members, or like just friends that I knew. And I was like, oh, well, let me go sit over there with them. I'm gonna go say hi to them. Let me go sit with them. Cause I didn't know anybody there at all. I was there by myself. I didn't know anybody there. So I was like, well, let me just go sit with somebody that I do know and talk to. And so as I started to walk towards them, they all turned to look at me, but I realized they didn't recognize me. Nobody recognized me. He didn't recognize who I was. They didn't recognize who I was. And I was kind of shocked, because I was like, how do they not recognize who I am? How is that even possible? Like, I grew up with these people, and this is my son's father that I've known for 21 years. So how does he not know I was just clueless. I was just, how is that possible? So anyway, so since they didn't acknowledge me, I just kept walking, and I was like, okay, that's weird. So I went back, I guess I was waiting for them to call us. So the next thing I know, it was switched from me being in line with my group. And as I was getting up in my group, I noticed that we all had certain things on. We had every group had clothing on to match with that group. And as I was there in the line, I could see people coming out from the line after being in the line for so long. They had trays, as if getting their food, getting their trays, walking back to their tables. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. I said, that's the reason why we're here, is because we're waiting for food. So we were in this line in this place for food. So I was like, okay. And so as he passed by, I accidentally bumped into a table, that guy that was sitting there, and I leaned over to say, oh, sorry, excuse me. But when I turned, I got to see exactly what they were feeding us. And what he had on his tray, his lunch tray, was, I saw spaghetti, and then I saw some other type of noodle and something else next to it. So we were there to be fed. But like I said, we can only get in line by the groups that we were in, and we were all like in colored, I guess you could say, uniforms. We all had, every group had their own color uniform on, and that was basically it. So it was really weird for me. I don't think that was me, because when I woke up from my dream, I felt two things. I think the wallet meant, I believe that the wallet was, the interpretation of the wallet meant that those people no longer had their identity. Their identity was taken away from them. They no longer had their own. They were just numbers, if you know what I mean. And then me being there, and my family and my son's father didn't recognize me. I believe that was showing that wasn't me, that was not me. Maybe I was seen through somebody else's eyes during that time, or the Lord was allowing me to see that what was going to happen, because after he didn't acknowledge me or see me, I knew that was not me. That wasn't me. I was as if I was seeing through somebody else's eyes. I don't know, it's so hard to explain, but I believe that's what is going to come to the world when all this happens, after the rapture. I felt just like everybody there was lost, and they were just going with the flow. They were just being, whatever people told them to do, they did. So, but anyway, that was that dream that I had, again, about 2 weeks ago, and it hasn't left me since then. It's been heavy on my mind. So I love you guys, and I know this is not for the believers. The believers will be gone. I think, again, that's what the Lord was trying to tell me or show me, like, that's not us. That's not, I don't believe the church will be there. But anyway, I love you guys. God bless you. I pray the Lord's protection over you and your family and your provisions, that he continues to provide for you, continue to guide you, and all that he has planned for you. Continue to keep your eyes set on him. Continue to pray. Continue to be in the word. Continue to stand strong in the Lord, because he's the only one that can get us through anything. He's the only one that, we're here for a reason, and we live by his purpose. And in order to know his purpose, we have to remain strong in him. We have to remain in his word, to be close to him, to abide in him, to stand strong. Continue to pray for one another, because we definitely need that right now. The body of Christ needs to come together in unity instead of arguing with each other who is right and who is wrong. We need to come together in unity and love. But I love you guys. I continue to pray for you. God bless you.